Welcome to month 11 of Cheshire Quilters Guild 2018 block of the month. This is block 19, quartered star. We only have one block this month. Next month we'll have the final block and finishing of our quilt. So for this, we take our squares of fabric C, E, and F and we draw a diagonal line on the back of each of the squares. Once we've done that, we're going to set the fabric C and E squares aside. And we're going to take the fabric A rectangles and we're going to place our fabric F squares on one end with the line going from this corner down this way. Don't put it on like this or you won't get the right design. You want to put it with the square with the line going from this corner down. And I'm going to do that on all four of my rectangles and I'm going to stitch along that line, and I'll meet you back here when I have that done. Alright, so I've stitched along this line, and now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm going from the points of the square where I had the line drawn, and now I'm going to take this over and I'm going to press it back like this. Okay, now I'm going to take two of my rectangles and I'm going to put a fabric C square on the end, just like I did the fabric F on the other side. And again, I'm going to stitch along the lines. I'm going to do that for two with fabric C. And then if we skip a little bit ahead in the instructions, you'll see that we're going to use the fabric E on the other two rectangles. So we're going to have another square put on all of our things, and be sure and place it so that the line goes from this corner down to the middle of the side, so that we end up both of the seams are running in the same direction. Meet you back here when I have those done. Alright, now that these are stitched, I can do the same thing with trimming these so that we have our 1/4 inch seam, and then we're going to press these away. So let me finish that up and then I'll show you how to assemble our block. Alright, there's all our pieces. We're alternating the fabric F squares on the inside and alternating the fabric C and the E squares on the outside. And now to assemble this block, we're going to have to do partial seams. So we're going to start that by first just putting on this piece. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to line up our corners and we're going to start stitching the seam in the middle and then go all the way out to the end. So only sew part of this seam, hence the name partial seam. So I'm going to do about half of the seam. So I'll meet you back here. Oh, and after I do that, then I'm going to press the seam toward the rectangle, so away from the square. So I'll come back here after I've got that done and I'll show you what we need to put on next. Alright, now that we have this first seam on, again I pressed it toward the square, we're going to put the second piece on, and now we've got a full side. This is our stitched end that we can put this on and stitch all the way across. Again, after we stitch this on, we're going to press toward the square, so we're going to press it this direction so that the seam will be pressed away from the square. When I get that done, we'll come back and I'll just show you how to put the last two pieces on. Okay, so we still have our partial seam. I've got this one on, and now we're going to put this piece on in the same exact way. And after we press, we can also put this piece on. So I'll come back here after I've got these other two seams sewn, each time pushing away from the center square, so that square is going to lay flat on the back of our piece. Just be careful when you stitch this seam here, the second one, that you don't inadvertently catch this seam in. So make sure this is folded out of the way so it doesn't get caught into anything else, since it's kind of flapping around on us. Alright, so I've sewn the fourth piece on. Now I have to finish this partial seam, and that's all you have to do. Just fold this over so now you can see that seam, and just stitch it, and again press away from the square, and then we'll have our block done. So let me do that and I'll meet you back here. And there you have it, Block 19, quartered star of Cheshire Quilters Guild 2018 Block of the Month. This is the only block this month, so meet us back here next month for Block 20 and the finishing of the 20 block quilt. See you then.